And what drug is causing you to slump like this?
Right now,
Sir, are you okay?
yeah, cool.
Philadelphia, a city deeply embedded in the fabric of American history, is now facing an identity crisis that has shocked not only its residents, but the nation as a whole. It's being called Zombie City. This nickname doesn't just come from an overactive imagination or media hype. It's rooted in a grim reality that has unfolded on the city's streets, particularly in neighborhoods like Kensington. The haunting images and stories emerging from Philadelphia have sparked widespread concern, raising uncomfortable questions about addiction, poverty, and the state of public health in America. The term Zombie City paints a vivid picture, but the truth is even more disturbing. The streets of Philadelphia are gripped by a new wave of drug addiction fueled by xylazine, a powerful animal tranquilizer commonly referred to as tranq, or the zombie drug. Originally intended for veterinary use, xylazine has been mixed with opioids like fentanyl to create a deadly combination that devastates both body and mind. Its effects are not only physically horrifying, but socially corrosive, creating a ripple effect that impacts entire communities. Unlike heroin or traditional opioids, xylazine comes with a unique and terrifying set of side effects. It's not just about the high, it's about the aftermath. Users often develop severe skin ulcers that worsen over time, leading to infections and, in extreme cases, amputations. These wounds don't just heal with time or basic care. They require specialized medical attention that most users don't have access to. Medical professionals have reported cases where the tissue around these ulcers rots away, exposing bone and leaving permanent scars, both physical and emotional. But perhaps even more terrifying is how quickly xylazine has spread. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, the number of xylazine-related deaths increased by a staggering 276% between January 2021 and June 2022 across 21 jurisdictions in the United States. This isn't just a local problem, it's a growing national epidemic. Philadelphia, however, has become ground zero, with nearly 19% of deadly opioid overdoses in the city in 2021 involving xylazine. For those living in neighborhoods like Kensington, this crisis has become a daily reality. Streets that were once filled with families and businesses are now lined with people struggling to survive. The scenes are harrowing. Individuals slumped over, unable to stand, or wandering aimlessly, seemingly detached from the world around them. Some describe these images as reminiscent of a zombie apocalypse, a chilling reflection of the drug's nickname. However, behind these viral images are real people with real stories. Many of them never imagined their lives would turn out this way. Addiction often begins innocently, an injury, a prescription, a moment of weakness, and spirals into a nightmare. For some, xylazine offers a temporary escape from pain and reality, but the cost is staggering. Users describe being caught in a vicious cycle where the drug provides relief, but at the expense of their health, relationships, and future. One of the most shocking aspects of xylazine is how resistant it is to traditional overdose treatments. Naloxone, commonly known as Narcan, is a life-saving medication used to reverse opioid overdoses. However, it has no effect on xylazine, leaving emergency responders and healthcare workers with limited tools to combat its deadly consequences. This has made the fight against xylazine even more challenging, as it requires a new approach and resources that many cities simply don't have. The physical effects of xylazine are devastating, but the psychological toll is equally harrowing. Addiction isolates individuals, cutting them off from family, friends, and society. For many, the streets become their entire world, a place where survival takes precedence over everything else. Yet, amidst the despair, there are moments of humanity. People share food, blankets, and stories, creating a fragile sense of community in an otherwise hostile environment. Philadelphia's zombie city crisis isn't just about drugs. It's a symptom of deeper systemic issues. Poverty, homelessness, and lack of access to mental health services have created a perfect storm that allows this epidemic to thrive. For many residents, addiction is not just a personal failure, but a societal one, a reflection of decades of neglect and inequality. The city's response has been a mix of outreach programs and legislative efforts, but progress has been slow and uneven. Community organizations play a crucial role in addressing the crisis. From providing meals and harm reduction supplies to offering medical care and shelter, these groups are often the only lifeline for those affected. Volunteers and healthcare workers describe the work as exhausting but essential. It's not just about treating the wounds or handing out supplies, one volunteer said. It's about showing people that they're not invisible, that someone still cares. But the challenges are immense. Lawmakers are working to classify xylazine as a controlled substance, which would make it easier to regulate and prosecute its distribution. However, criminalizing drug use alone won't solve the problem. Experts argue that a comprehensive approach is needed, one that addresses not only the supply of dangerous drugs, but also the underlying causes of addiction. This includes expanding access to healthcare, affordable housing, and mental health services. The term zombie city has captured public attention, but it risks oversimplifying a complex crisis. Behind the headlines and viral videos are real people, sons, daughters, parents, each with their own story. Some have managed to escape the cycle of addiction, finding hope and purpose in recovery. These stories, though less visible, are a powerful reminder that change is possible. One former addict described their journey as a constant battle. You lose so much: your health, your family, your dignity. But when you hit rock bottom, there's only one way to go, and that's up. Recovery isn't easy, but it's worth it. Philadelphia's struggles are a stark reminder of the broader challenges facing cities across the United States. The opioid epidemic, fueled by substances like xylazine, has laid bare the vulnerabilities in our healthcare and social systems. It's a crisis that demands attention, not just from policymakers, but from all of us. Because behind every statistic is a person who could be your neighbor, your friend, or even you. As we reflect on the images and stories from Philadelphia's streets, one thing is clear: this is not just a Philadelphia problem. It's a national crisis that requires a collective response. The question is, are we ready to face it? Will we rise to the challenge and offer hope to those who need it most?